Mini, showing AMD, and showing Tesla side by side if you can. Put on a 30-minute chart if you will.
Okay. You wanted Tesla?
Yeah, I want to show it side by side, even, or you can do it on ETR line if you want to do it that way. You can do it either way, but they'd probably like to see it on a chart.
Tesla, AMD, and the E-mini?
Yeah,
What was the
three.
third one?
TQQ, Tesla, AMD, and E-mini. There's four of them total. So if you look at the E-mini, it's currently trading about 58.11 with the high of this since we opened, John. What's the high? High of the E-mini. Let me look at it real quick. The high is 58.15. Draw a line at 58.15 on the E-mini. Yeah, Don, you probably want to listen to what I had to say, and he'll put a link in there for the 7 o'clock. All right, does everybody see that E-mini line right there? Everybody see it? Can you point it out to where they see that orange line? Type yes in there if you see it. I want to show you something. Okay. If you watch this E-mini after 8 o'clock tonight, then you're going to see the TQQ go up. You're going to see Tesla go up, and you're going to see AMD go up tonight. Because 75, remember this rule, 75% of all stocks follow the futures. And that's an example of using the futures in tonight if futures go above that 15, about 15 area. I wanted to show that to everybody because we talked about it in that last little class we had. Any questions about that? And these stocks are trading tonight throughout the night. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but they're trading. Any questions? Any questions at all before I get into my presentation? All right, Josh, let's go back to the presentation. I'll go through the slide presentation. I just want to show you that, how valuable it is to know about futures.
Okay, Tom, you got control now.
Yeah, okay. They're trading. In other words, you can go in and buy and sell Tesla, AMD, or TQQ tonight. You can do it all night long. They're trading 24 hours. I don't know if everybody knew that or not. How many people knew those stocks are trading tonight? I'm just telling you. So if the S&P gets above 15, those stocks are going to go higher. They're already starting to go up. Tesla tonight's at 281.77, AMD's 114. I'm just trying to show you different ways to add money. I'm using TD Ameritrade, Jody, so I know their trade there. I said TD Ameritrade, Schwab, I guess, right? All right, let me get into tonight's presentation. We had a nice get together at 7, and we're gonna put the link in here for that. You can watch it later. It's pretty good stuff. You ought to watch that. But thank you for coming tonight, and my YouTube channel's open, and my pivot number will come out on T-Buzz TV tomorrow. Make sure you're signed up for that, T-Buzz TV. There's risk involved in trading. We talk about that a lot. And past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, I told people tonight there's an 80% chance that the S&P will go to 5840 tomorrow. What does that mean to you as a trader if I'm right on that? 80% chance it's going to go to 5840 tomorrow. That'd be about 30 points higher from here. What does that mean to you? Dollars, John says. That's right. So that's where the odds are going into tomorrow, 5840. So keep that in mind. Okay. Past performance not indicative of future results. Folks that don't know me, former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s. Years and years of trading futures. We've got a great course that we teach called Futures First Education. He'll put the link in there. And of course, $100,000 plus a bunch of traders I've taught. DTI will help you master markets through education, training, and experience, in my opinion. Right now, the market's telling you that it wants to go up. So you got to give it a little room to do that. But in doing that, you also have to have a number to the downside that tells you have to reevaluate. That number is 5650. 5650 is the number. Excuse me, 5750. 5750. There's the numbers for the year. Notice the E-mini is only down 2%. NASDAQ's down 4%. Dow's basically unchanged. DAX is up 16%. Gold is up 14%. Crude is down 3.7%, and bonds are up about 2%. Okay? About 2%. Now the 10 tickers. Who was with me Sunday night? That was last night. I said gold needs to go above 280. NNE, which happened to trigger late in the day today, got above 3250. That's a play. Here's one. If you'd have bought MSTU, it's at 736 right now. Jonathan circled that one as a big winner. That's a big percentage gain in the first day of the week. Circle that one. MSTU. Buck says, I'm in. AMD. Here's another big winner. I said if it goes above 110.55, it's at 114. That's a pretty good play there, isn't it? Circle AMD. I said the SPY goes above 562.55, you already go long. The SPY, folks, right now is at 573. How's that for a day's work on the SPY? And then, of course, I said last night. I said, I'm going along to TQQ. It's at 66. Who attended Sunday night? I'm not making this stuff up, folks. This is my 10 tickers. Count that up. I said 4 or 5 of these will hit this week. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty strong, isn't it? Yeah, I think my 10 tickers is pretty good. Sort of made us have a great Monday, I can tell you that. Next Sunday night, I'll do the same thing in T-Buzz All-Star. Now, how to trade these 10 tickers. I even covered this last night. I said, find 10 tickers, opportunities for the week, SPY, QQQ, plus my favorite stocks. I gave it to you. I gave examples like gold, like the greater or less in sign tells you the propensity. By the way, that propensity is defined as I think there's an 80% chance if it goes above those numbers I give you, they will trend. Did y'all know that? Might as well throw that in. No extra charge. Also to the downside, I look at things both ways over the weekend. When the markets are closed, I come to these conclusions about my 10 tickers. Good numbers for the week. The 10 tickers through the last 3 or 4 years, it shows me, if you go back and track it, generally speaking, there's 3 to 4 that are great runners for the week. So I set alerts on Sunday night after I do the 10 tickers. I just showed you how all 4 of those paid big, didn't I? Wouldn't you like to have a piece of that? Well, play the game every Sunday night when I post it. Set alerts on your trading platform. Have at it. Always refer what time of day. For example, Berkshire break, and you could get in on RB3 and it being positive, that's what you would have done. We originally got in Berkshire week before last at 517. Monday morning it broke, we went long, went to 530 last week, right there on Thursday. I typically trade options on these, not a day trade, but try to trade a trend. Doesn't trigger by late in the day, Wednesday or early Thursday, I probably avoid it because, you know, it's only for the week, right? Go out about 10 days and try to make it pay. About $3 is what I pay. Whether I'm going up or down. You can use option spreads effectively also. If I got one like a gold or something like that, I might do a put spread if it's bullish. I use these lines to sort of tell me the strike price I'm going to use on a bullish one. Now here's a BRK example. Set an alert greater than. You can buy a call spread or sell a put spread. Those 3 strategies work very well if you do it. Now that's the example of a bullish. Now the bearish setup normally happens in 48 hours, just to tell you that. Usually about 2 days is the lifeline you want to give it. Remember, a market breaks down, breaks a lot faster. Now, these are the insights I run using my 10 tickers for the week. Any questions about the 10 tickers? I think that's some good education, don't you? With those 10 tickers. Jonathan, remind me, we'll take it to a further lesson, make it a full class. on the 10 tickers because I want people to make money off that. And I do all the work over the weekend. But yeah, they're part of the T-Buzz All-Stars. They definitely get an invitation to be there on Sunday night. Let's focus on what I think is important. If you look at this, it's playing out almost to the letter, which means we should be getting a rally here. Does everybody see that? That's probably what we're seeing right now is the rally, okay? And we're going to take advantage of that. Now, if you want to take advantage of it, you ought to be with me because I'm going to take advantage of it. Yep, you piggyback it with my Magic 5 and TNT. Absolutely. Now, the question you got to answer every day, every 24 hours, every week, every month, will the market move up or down or sideways this week? Right now, it's moving up. And I think that the market right now justifies waiting. What number did I tell you tonight that the market would turn on the gas? I gave it to you. Who was listening? I gave you the number tonight. No, Dave, 58.15 is where I said if it goes higher than, it would go to 58.40. Let me be clear. Let me be clear about that. Jonathan, type that in there. I'm saying if the market goes above 58.15, that it's en route to what number? 58.40. Roger got it. Not easy remembering these numbers, but you got to learn and train your mind according to the DTI approach because it works. It works. Now, I think it's very hard to pick a direction unless you use what I use. And my direction is really good in a short-term basis because if you go back and look at that chart that we're following, using options especially, you got to take it when they offer it. Moves that used to last days or weeks are now fizzling out in hours and minutes even. Today was an exception the way it traded. It was pretty steady all day long. That was the kickoff of what I think is the trend I told you about on Friday. I will help you navigate it if you listen. Now, who's going to listen and follow me through this next 60 days as we reap a lot of gains for ourselves? I don't want anybody to have an excuse after the next 60 days because I'm putting it out there for you and I want you to follow along and make some money. Who's all in agreement they want to follow along and make some money? Now, you have to pay attention and listen. You got to, as Roger says, keep your ears open. Absolutely. We're going to erase a lot of sins in this market over the next 60 days because it's been a tough one. I don't think it's your fault, it's just the fact that we've got it going on. Now, I use strategies to take advantage of that. Even beginners can use them because what I do is show you techniques of day trading. Y'all know any day traders out there? A lot of people talk about day trading. Y'all know anybody out there that might have been day trading for the last 40 years? Anybody at all? 40 years of doing this. It's an art, and I know the art. Some education I covered. I said, when do you enter trades? Oh, Stan Weinstein, William. Yep. Oh, Stan. He didn't know this, though. He didn't know to enter at 10, 12, and 2 because he didn't have a Globex terminal like me. 3 times during the day, 10, 12, or 2. Can you remember that? 10, 12, and 2. Signals that come off the last reference bar of the day are really work well if they're reversal signals. You ought to write that down. The Genesis bar will mark the high or low 4 out of 5 days, but on days like today, you got to recognize if it's a continuation. Because on a continuation bar, you can make some big money like today. For day trades, I try to make, these are options, 5 to 25%. I'm not trying to knock it out of the park. All I'm trying to do is grind it out. But it adds up when you do it right. Tickers that qualify, active tickers. There's active tickers out there, the QQQ, the SPY, the XSP, the MAG 7. Those are active tickers. Knowing what to do when you're wrong. I teach you all that. Especially, everybody has bad timing here and there. What do you do if it's wrong? There's ways to mitigate it. What do you do? How do you get in? How do you get out? On that day, the market screamed higher after the cash opened, RB3. Then Genesis came, reversed the morning trend. You knew you're done. You got to do something. Either you got to spread it or take a loss. That's simple. If you limit eliminate trade, I had shown you the original bias to accurate by RB3 the next day, you got to get rid of it. If it comes back, you probably can scratch the trade without much loss. Now, I'm going to talk about the pattern day trade rule, which I think is the worst rule out there. It's very simple if you learn what I'm about to tell you. Who would consider themselves a small account trader? This is better listen up. You got to know this. Best way to avoid having a day trade is never close out an opening transaction on the same day. Well, what's an opening transaction? It's like I'm buying a call option. That's an opening transaction. I'm buying AMD. That's an opening transaction. Never close that out on the day you buy it. If you do, that counts against you as a day trade. Think of it in those terms. So when you open an option, you got to think very carefully when you're going to close it if you got a small account. Now, what if it reaches your target, you want to get out? Well, you can't get out because you're going to take a day trade. Sell the next strike up, get out of both trades the next day. 2 openings, closing out the next day. That's what you got to do. Next strike up is the easiest way to do a call option in that way. Neutralize the trade at best and then get out the next day. Not the best way to do it, but if you got to play by those rules, you can do it that way without getting in violation of the pattern day trade rule. Now type yes if you learned what I was talking about, how to avoid the pattern day trade rule and keep you out of violation or trouble. Very simple if somebody takes time. Now remember, you can have 3 day trades in a 5 trading day span. 3 day trades. So you can have a day trade, but you got to keep up with it. Tim said, that's some good lemonade. Ton more I will teach you like no one can teach you when it comes to day trading. I think of myself, has anybody ever heard Chick-fil-A say they're the original chicken sandwich? Since I had a Globex term, only 50 of it in the entire world, I sort of think I'm the original day trader. Okay. I was there when the electronic market wasn't around, trading electronically through the Globex terminal. A lot I've learned about the market that you will learn also if you hang around me. I'll show you techniques, how to survive. Here's a few recent trades we made, a QQQ trade. Hey, $1,000 of risk, $1,000 of risk, $120 reward on that one, 11% on that one. Like I said, if you can book, if you grow your account greater than 25, you can really run this thing out. Now, I can't promise future success, guarantee any losses, but I'm going to be there with you doing it in a world where everything seems to be losing. I'll show you how to win. That's why I'm proposing tonight. You join me for day trading with T-Buzz. Day trading here in the USA. And I got a plan. Listen to my plan. Live trade with me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the next 4 weeks or longer if it takes to do a minimum of 20 day trades. I value it based on those 20 day trades winning. Okay. So when I get 20 winners, I'll stop. Is that fair? If I get 20 winners, then we stop? Yeah, I think it is. On 20 day trades where I'll be trading right alongside of you, I'm going to teach you the art lesson. Now this is the beautiful part. Okay? 11:30 in the morning on Eastern time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Write that down. You don't want to miss it. Help you target some small, consistent gains out of all the tickers out there. Find the ones that are going to pay and teach you the art of day trading. And show you how to avoid the pattern day trade rule. I mean, you won't need the 25,000 if you got a small account. This will work for you where you can grow your account. Normally, I'd charge 2,500 to 3,000. It's worth it. Think about it. 20 winning day trades you're going to get with me. Ever how long it takes, I will hit the word 20. Now, we'll actually do it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when they set up. I'll take the 2,500 off the 3,000. We'll charge you a minimum amount of dollars to be with me over this time, $497. And I'm going to get you 20 winners on my program. Okay? Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. $497. We'll record every session for your archive and study, but we'll do it together Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I made it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11:30. That way I can remember, hey, we got to do day trading on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. What do you think? Great plan, huh? Well, I showed it to people Friday. They jumped all over it. Showed it to people tonight. I got a bunch of people here. Let's fill this thing up. I'm only going to take 100. I don't know how many spots I got left. I think probably 70 maybe. We got enough in here. Everybody in here joins tonight. We're done. Tomorrow, guess what happens tomorrow? We get started. You don't have to wait a long time. It's chicken, fish, or steak, folks. Make your choice. Join up. Let's do it. Art of Day Trading with me starts tomorrow. Sign up here, dtitrader.com/day, D-A-Y. Or you can call 904-706-3532. Let's do it together. There's my book, Winning the Day Trading Game. I believe so much in it. I wrote a book about it years ago. I'll give you a digital copy if you join tonight. That's worth $50. Totally free if you sign up. We'll use that book to guide us as we go through these journey to posting 20 winners in here. Now, we already did some beta testing, like Laura got in on one, Buck got in on one. I keep it simple. I tell you what's behind each and every trade, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You know exactly where we stand. Carol loves it. She always likes the insights. She keeps a book of my insights. Now, join tonight, and you'll be the next success story. Don't wait. $4.97 if you're ready to make the change. Go to dtitrader.com/stuff. Here's a couple questions that came to mind. How long will I do this? Guess what? Until I get you 20 winners. How you like that one? I think I'll do it within 4 weeks. It might be 6, but we'll see. 20 winners. As long as it takes, we're going to do it. That'll add some money to your account if you do it right with what I teach you. dtitrader.com/day. Here's another question that came up. Tom, I've got a small account. Can I do this? Absolutely. I will walk you holding your hand to make sure that you get this right. That's a promise there. Here's another question. How much are we going to go for? Well, I'm going to go for anywhere from 5 to 25% on the trade. 5 to 25%. Another question. Any special broker or things I need with a broker? No, just be able to trade options. And finally, can you do it in an IRA? Absolutely. You can do this in an IRA. We had a trade that went off today. We were trying to get 59 cents for, sold it for 77. It wasn't on the sheet we showed you. It's happening, folks, and it's happening sooner rather than later. We kick it off tomorrow at 11:30. Now, who's going to be there with me tomorrow when I do this? I won't leave anybody behind. That's a promise. I'll show you how it works. All you got to do is tune in on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Any questions you have? Susan says, I'm going to be there. Karen says, I'm going to be there. Fred says, I'm going to be there. Come on, folks, get signed up. Let's do it together. $11:30 tomorrow. Somebody just asked, Tom, other than the day trade, if you see a stock setting up, maybe off the 10 tickers, will you do that? Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a bonus. Here's another question. Is this the anniversary? No, this is not the anniversary. This is a separate day trading program I put together. The anniversary is 2 days. This is 11:30 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sign in, get the trade, make your money, and come back the next day. The anniversary class dates, I think it's April 21st and 22nd. Somebody asked this question, Tom, I'd like to get the roadmap on that 60-day program. Can I do that? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, go to dtitrader.com/day, get signed up. Any questions? You know what the advantage of day trading is? You don't have overnight risk. That's where you lose a lot of money. But basically, here's the way it works. We watch it at night, we watch it in the morning, we watch it during the morning. And then by 11:30, we pretty well know where to go, grab our 5 to 25% and move on. That makes the risk lower. Thank you, Carolyn, for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, folks. Any other questions? Look, I just want to make money with whatever the market does. I'm hoping you're here for that reason. This is the program. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will be doing our thing. My plan is go to bed, get up tomorrow morning, start my process, and be there at 11:30. William, not in futures, they do in stocks. All right, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up if nobody's got any more questions. Get started 11:30 tomorrow. Right, Don? A lot of work, I know it, but I think y'all deserve it, so we're gonna do it together. We'll make this week dedicated to what? What are we making this week dedicated? Scholarship Week. That's right. All right, well, thank you and see y'all on the flip side.